Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas is your pathway to a bachelor's degree. Located in downtown Minneapolis, Doherty Family College offers an affordable education that includes free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaches, and a Metro Transit pass. As a full-time Doherty Family College student, you'll benefit from mentorship from St. Thomas faculty, along with paid internships and support from Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn your dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College, your journey to success starts here.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP, along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a to-go card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. 612-373-3333.
Support for Native Roots Radio comes from the Walker Art Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including Indigenous artists like Edgar Heap of Birds, Cheyenne and Arapaho Nation, and Jim Demini, Ojibwe. Additionally, films screen in the cinema, and performances are shown on stage. Free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org. Again, that's walkerart.org.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Clear tonight with a low of 33, then Wednesday sunshine with a high of 61. Let Natural Lawn take care of your lawn care this summer so you can spend more time enjoying your lawn. Organic-based, environmentally friendly lawn care for over 30 years. Safer products for kids, pets, and the planet. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Check them out today at naturallawn.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be Indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Chujunk, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, you are right, Dega, and this portion of this show is supported by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Speaking of which, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and Haley, we talk about this a lot with our guests, and we have kind of a daunting job. We have daily, we have to keep in touch with what's going on nationally and locally, and we have kind of a daunting job too. And it's interesting, before we get our guest, Ruth Anna Buffalo on and Angie Vig of Vig Guitars, we should talk a little bit about how we can kind of, because I feel run down today, and I told you that I wasn't feeling that well, and that you had to do the show yourself, but that didn't work too well. But, what are we doing to, take care of ourselves?
Yeah, well, thanks for mentioning that April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Mhm,
I know we're going to have Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, Ruth Anna Buffalo on with us, and I'm
mhm,
sure she can speak on some of the resources and programming they do to help out with that.
mhm,
As I mentioned before, the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition is another great resource for that.
mhm,
But yeah, before we get to some other little tips and tricks on just remaining restful and full of energy and things like that, taking care of yourself, I also want to shout out that April is also Environmental Awareness Month. And next Tuesday, April 22nd, is Earth Day.
mhm.
I actually
Wow.
went to double check that on Google Calendar, and it was actually taken off by the Trump administration from Google Calendar. They did take that off of the calendar. But Earth Day is next Tuesday, April 22nd. So I know, right?
Wow. Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah, it wasn't on my calendar. But what I like to do on Earth Day is get outside, spend time in nature if you can. This is one thing I like to do, not only on Earth Day, but usually in the springtime too, when all the snow melts, is pick up
Mm.
some of that litter and
Oh,
garbage.
God.
Yeah. Wear gloves, use one of those little fork picker upper things if you can.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, it's also Stress Awareness Month in April. And that's a big one we talk about quite a bit with guests
mhm,
from all different areas and walks of life. But when you think of resting, like what kind of things do you think about? There's like 10 different types of rest that you can participate in that I
mhm.
just learned about the other day, and someone shared it on Facebook.
Wow.
Um, yeah, but so when I think of rest, I think of like you taking your naps daily.
Yeah, been doing
Yeah.
that for many, many years.
Yeah, so that's like physical rest, and that's like eating, like hitting all of your meals and
Mm,
eating nutritious foods. Some other types of physical rest, like gentle yoga or walking or like a little workout.
mhm,
But there's also like emotional rest too. So this is one I think of, like Representative Heather Keeler talks about this a lot, like protecting your peace and just like taking a break from the news.
mhm.
Arvina Martins mentioned this too from Emerge Wisconsin, like taking a break from the news, just turning it off for a night if you need a break.
Yeah,
Journaling.
Wendy does that really well.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I mean, it really affects her, what's going on. And I
Yeah.
think one of the, emotional rest, saying no, you're good at saying no and taking care of yourself.
I try to be. That's a
Yeah,
hard one. And that's
you
like
do good.
comes with setting boundaries too. And if you're not used to setting
Well,
boundaries,
healthy boundaries.
healthy boundaries, it can be hard and you can feel guilty for doing that. But it just, it's something you
Mhm.
got to learn and do that to protect your peace.
Yeah.
There's also cognitive rest, and this is like non-thinking activities like cooking or binging a new TV show. I
Mhm.
know a lot of people are binging the Netflix series North of North right now.
Yeah,
So I want to shout that one out.
right on.
But like beading even, or like doing your craft,
Mm.
something that you can like do while binging a show or something. Like I have ADHD, so if I can like sit there and not think about something and also do something with my hands at the same time, that helps a lot.
Wow, okay.
But sensory rest too, like lighting a candle, or this could
Mm.
even like include smudging, or like lighting lavender, sage, or cedar.
Right, I do that a couple times a day. You know, s I have my, sage and,
Mhm.
everybody we're not pan-Indians, but natives like Ho-Chunks really, smudge with flat cedar.
Yeah. Yep. Our cedar. What else? Okay, so moving on to sensory rest. This is something I was discovering. Did we talk about that one? Okay, I think we're continuing with
Yeah,
that
but
one.
we didn't finish it up because
Yeah.
one of the good things I remember when I first sobered up,
Mhm.
somebody told me that if you're feeling a little off, do something different, and one of them
Mhm.
was take a bath instead of a
Yeah.
shower, mix it up.
Yeah. Yep. That's so relaxing and like sensory too. So like some people have sensory disorders and
Mhm.
like things like low lit areas. Like if you're in a really fluorescent lit area, that can really be bothersome to
Oh,
some people and be like overstimulating. So
yeah.
just kind of like removing yourself from that area if you can. Like I like to have like a house full of lamps. I don't like the overhead lamp on.
Yeah,
So that's a
yeah.
good sensory thing. Weighted blankets, loose clothing is one of my favorites.
I have to wear
Um,
loose clothing because 'cause I'm getting fat.
Well, I mean, that's a little tip too.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
standing up here, sitting up. So you
what do we
can't
have?
tell.
What else is there? Okay, this is what I had to do more research on psychosocial rest. And this totally depends if you're an introvert or an extrovert too. Like, however, you're, I guess, like resting from social activities or maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Gemini. I get fed by being out, but I also
Yeah.
remember for years that I would need downtime by myself
Mm-hmm.
to plug in to rejuvenate.
Yeah. So, however that social rest looks for you, if that's solitude, do that, or if that's hanging out with your friends, stuff like that. Spiritual rest, that's protecting your energy flow as well. Meditation and attending ceremonies for us, like
Yeah.
women attending the full moon ceremonies, doing sweat, doing
Mhm.
cedar ceremony, praying.
Yeah.
This was one also I looked up. And I'll probably say it wrong now.
Ultralistic.
Altruistic rest,
Oh,
and
I
that's
that's right.
that was a good try, Digga.
Thanks.
The well-being.
I was so close.
You really were. The well-being, this is the well-being for others. So like volunteering, acts of kindness, donating resources or funds, cooking for others. There's also ecological rest, and that's like spending time in nature,
Uh-huh.
listening to ocean or bird sounds. You could even like nurture your houseplants or work in your garden or play with your pets.
And do all that.
There's Yeah, right. There's also playful rest, like
Mhm.
sports, adventuring, hiking, camping. There's creative rest, like painting,
I
singing, beading,
I like it
sewing.
says, watching comedy. I like that because, if you're laughing, belly laughing, it's a playful rest.
It really is. And like we are so creative as natives, I feel like. So creative rest is something that I feel like all really incorporate in our lives, which is great to see. So like painting, singing, beadwork, sewing, making music, dancing, and like photography or carving and things like that.
Yeah, I saw a statistic about photography, and I took photography, had really good, film
Yeah.
cameras, and they said in the first, 100 years of photography, there was something like, 5,000,000 or 5,000,000,000 pictures, and they said now in each year, there's 5,000,000,000, pictures being taken.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Mm.
I hope those real numbers. Hey, um, we don't make stuff up here, do we? Hey, this is Native Roots Radio and Up Ruth. Up next is, Ruth Anna Buffalo, and we're gonna be talking about the resource center and some cool news and things that are happening there. So stay
Yeah.
with us. This is Native Roots Radio.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP, along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a to-go card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. 612-373-3333.
Now showing at MIA, artist Mary Sully was a visionary ahead of her time. Born on the Standing Rock Reservation, she worked in near obscurity between the 1920s and 1940s, creating intricate, vividly colored drawings that blend Dakota heritage with modern life. Now on display at the Minneapolis Institute of Art, experience the first solo exhibition featuring Mary Sully's work and see how her art challenges traditional ideas of Native and modern art. Only at MIA and always free to visit. Learn more at artsmia.org. The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Summer is fast approaching. How will your teens spend their days? Reconnecting Our Roots is a unique opportunity for Native American teenagers from the Twin Cities area. Students will engage in cultural activities and learn about Native histories rooted through Minnesota Makoche in a welcoming environment. The summer session runs July 14th through the 18th at the Minnesota History Center, and a stipend is available for those who attend each day. Learn more and apply now at mnhs.org/NEI.
Anine, I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Development Institute, or NACD, in Minneapolis.
Hey, we got some great news coming up, and I can't wait to see Ruth Anna Buffalo that we can talk about it. But before we do, we've been talking about how kind of to take care of yourself, and I know there was a lot of good things there, but we also have a couple other things that are we could maybe bring up before we get Ruth Anna Buffalo on. And I know that they have that Native Nations fashion show coming up in like 10 days, and I know there's a lot of people that go to that.
Yes, this is a huge event every year. This is the Native Nations Fashion Night presented by Minnesota Fund. It's going to be next Friday, April 25th from 5 to 11 p.m. It's going to be at the Intercontinental St. Paul Riverfront Great River Ballroom. That's 11 East Kellogg Boulevard right there in downtown St. Paul.
Yeah.
They have their own Instagram account, which is awesome. They're posting all the artists on there that are going to be showing their work. It's Native Nations Fashion Night on Instagram. The link is in their bio for tickets and everything like that. But this year's fashion show and marketplace is titled I Am Water, Nibi Indo and Miniwan. Sorry, I probably did not pronounce that right. But water has always been a symbol of life, change, and continuity, perfectly reflecting the strength and adaptability of Native communities as we move forward, they say. Like water, we are ever flowing, capable of navigating obstacles, reshaping our paths, and sustaining future generations.
I think we've had a few of these designers on our show, haven't we, over the years?
I think so. I definitely recognize some of these names. This year's designers that are honoring water through fashion at this year's Native Nations Fashion Night. We got Amari LaRock, Angela Azur LaRock, and Judy Azur. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Also, Dr. Sage Davis, Loren Aragon, Shannon Gustafson, and Delina White.
Yeah, that's a awesome event, and I don't go, but I see so many people going, and that was like one of the years ago when they first. I don't know what annual this is, at least 4 or 5, I think, and that's the first I heard, Haley, of ribbon skirts with pockets.
So iconic and so needed. I cannot do without a ribbon skirt that doesn't have pockets, but yeah, it's cool that this year's theme is water. Yeah, I haven't gone yet either. I know NAC's groundbreaking ceremony for their new building, Native American Community Clinic, is happening the same evening, but might wrap up before that. I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
it is going till 11, but I'm sure they want you in there when it starts.
Right. Well, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, I plan on going to that. I don't know. I think I have to sign up or to get a free T-shirt or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think. Are you talking about the fashion show?
No,
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm talking in riddles again, is what I'm doing.
I'm like, which one is he planning to go to? Both.
Right. No, Dr. Stately and that groundbreaking. I know Ho Chunks donated some money, and be good to see that this is going to come to fruition, and all the work that's been done by Native American Community Clinic and their crew.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I know we're gonna have Ruth Anna Buffalo on here from Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center.
Right.
Waiting on her to hop in. Do you want to do Ho Chunk word of the day?
Yeah. Is it going to be Buffalo or Ruth Ann Buffalo or what's it? Bison? What's it going to be today?
No, actually, that's really. I'm glad you brought that up because I actually found this out recently. I don't know how I didn't know this, but buffalo and bison are not the same animal.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know how like NDSU calls their school, it's like the Bison. There
Yep.
you have it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's the actual term for North American buffalo. It's not like, so the North American, it's actually the North American bison, not
Mhm.
buffalo. I think it's the buffalo that's like South Africa or something.
Right, and people that came here, colonizers, to be specific, came here and saw the bison and called it a buffalo. If I remember,
Yeah.
if that's how the story went too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so scientific name for bison, they're native to North America, physical characteristics of the bison. So they're the larger ones with the shaggier coat. They have the large head. So the
Mhm.
large head that's native to North America, those are the bison. Then
Mm.
you have the buffalo, which is also called the African and Asian buffalo, and you can find those in Africa and Asia, like the water buffalo. And those ones have those kind of like curvy horns that go out to the side.
Yeah,
If you seen them.
definitely.
Yeah,
Well,
but
get that worded the day before, Ruth Ann comes, or we'll have to quiz her and make her say it.
yeah, the
Ru
word of the day is not bison. But, if you do want the Ho Chunk word for that, I think that one is chefchi.
Oh,
Chefchi is how we say bison.
cool.
Yeah. What did we do yesterday? We said, were we talking about the pigeon? The word for pigeon was ruchke.
Yes.
Ruchke.
Ruchke.
Yeah. Today's word, this is not one of our clan animals.
No.
But I decided to choose the rabbit. And the Ho Chunk word for that is washjink. Washjink.
Washjink.
Washjink. Yeah. But I
It
guess I
is,
picked
rabbit season, so it's good to bring
Yeah.
that up. I know some
Yeah.
people have dug into their gardens and have run into baby rabbits, so be
Yeah.
careful out there.
Yeah, I've definitely done that before. If you do encounter a little baby rabbit nest or baby washjink nest, carefully just move those. You can put like a little towel over a shovel and just kind of gently scoop them up and move them. Don't move them too far though.
Or leave
where they're
them
going.
and just to put your garden around.
Yeah, you could.
So I got some sage in the backyard, and I have a sage behind my garage, and the one behind my garage is growing now. So that's
Nice.
exciting because I
It
just
is.
uh, transported it from a different area,
Yeah.
and now it's coming in. So I'm really excited. But I know sometimes those wabbits or
Washjink.
wash
Washjink.
like to chew on it. They think it's carrots or something.
You should plant some carrots around your gardens.
Yeah, that's all I need.
I
Well,
bet.
you know, Haley, I gotta just say this, and I don't know if people can tell I'm a little under the weather here, and Haley's doing
Aw.
a great job running the show here. Um, is that we have so many animals back here now, from crows. We have 2
You do, yeah.
raccoons now that come in every night,
Yeah.
and but we have like possum, of course, a million rabbits, chipmunks, squirrels, and blackbirds. Those
Blackbirds.
crows, or the
Oh, yeah.
crows, or I don't know if it's a crow or the smaller one, raven, but
Mhm.
they can have me trained. I'll go outside and they'll start hawking at me, and I have to run in and get some peanuts and throw it out, and then they're
Exactly. That's because you guys are feeding them like 6 times a day.
yeah,
And Wendy puts her little heated beds out there with the
yeah, and the
that's so
heated
nice.
water. Don't forget
Yeah,
that.
little Snow White. Wendy's little Snow White over there.
I better make sure that everything's full because Wendy's coming home tonight.
Yeah,
So
that's exciting. Well, remember when Wendy was talking with her fun fact segments and she talked about the pigeon? Because we talked
Mhm.
about the Ho Chunk word for pigeon, which was bruchke yesterday. Pigeons were highly domesticated by humans at one point, and then we just
Mhm.
kind of abandoned them, and that's why they like can't make nests quite as well as other birds because of that and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow, I
I
believe
learned
that.
that from Wendy.
You do listen to this show.
I try to.
We
It
should
is
get
my
you a
job.
we should get you a free T-shirt for doing that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's amazing. There's whole different kinds of pigeons here in New York, and I
yeah.
know, there's Mike Tyson. I don't know if you know much about him, but he was a boxer, and, he always had pigeons as a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, up on the rooftop in New York, or I think he was
Oh,
from Brooklyn.
okay.
But
Interesting.
yeah, yeah, definitely interesting. So let's talk about a couple of the last words. And you know which word
Mhm.
is my favorite, and I want you to say that word, and that's Arvina's favorite word.
Okay, the Ho Chunk word for chicken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say it like
We
a chicken.
we like that one, bagahke.
Yeah.
But it's really, yeah, emphasize on that, bagahke. Ho Chunks, yeah. Ho Chunk words are a little bit more difficult to pronounce, in
Just
my
got my
opinion.
sound effect in there. I like to use it every once in a
Thank
while.
you. Thank you. Gigi.
Or I was gonna put the laughter. Oh, no,
Oh
that's
no,
not that's
crickets.
the
We'll have
opposite.
to figure out the word for crickets.
Yeah, then I can play this. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I wanna shout out MIWRC. They had some exciting news today. If you wanna head over to their
Yeah.
social media and check out that update. I know they
Here's
had their
here's an
drop-in.
appropriate, sound effect for that, report. Ready?
Yeah.
Say I wanna, shout them out again.
I wanna shout out MIWRC, Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center. What was that?
It's kind of the
What?
magical.
Like okay, what little Wizard of Oz
Yeah.
sparkles or something.
Yeah.
Well, they had their
Mhm.
weekly drop-in day today. That's every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. where relatives, unhoused relatives, and community members can come for a meal, connect with resources and services, and spend time in community.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, and they have some things going on here on Thursday too. I know,
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
Ruth, there's things that happen and she won't be able to get on because they are definitely boots on the ground, Haley, and, right in the
Mhm.
middle of it, and,
Mhm.
so we always give flexibility to all our guests because they
Oh,
are
yeah.
pillars of the community.
Absolutely. Maybe we can talk a little bit more about what Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center has going on this month and later in the week after this break.
Hey, you're listening to check this out. You're listening to Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Stay with us.
Hi, it's Penny from Nightingale in Minneapolis. Since 2012, we've been your go-to dining spot near 26th and Lyndale in South Minneapolis. Indulge in classics like our scallops, steak tartare, Nightingale burger, and the irresistible chocolate pot de creme. Chef Carrie keeps it fresh with seasonal dishes. We have craft cocktails and curated wines for anyone's taste. And Mondays mean half-price wine bottles. Open daily 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. with the full menu until midnight. Join us at Nightingale where good times and great flavors come together.
Hi, this is Frank Brown of Minuteman Press Uptown with a question for our local small businesses. Do you want more leads, more store traffic, more customers? Thousands of local businesses, just like yours, count on Minuteman Uptown to drive sales. We make your business stand out and show out. We print everything from signage, promotions, and direct marketing. We connect you to the community. Choose Minuteman Uptown because we share your values and we are a proud union shop. Contact us today at mpuptown.com.
It's no secret that medical care costs are soaring, with nursing home and skilled nursing care costs being some of the highest. You don't have to deplete your savings in order to receive long-term care. At Schroman Law, we work with families to develop and implement strategic planning for medical assistance for long-term care, for assisted living, nursing home care, or home-based care. Contact us today to schedule a free consultation at schromenlaw.com. That's SCHROMEN law.com.
Hey, it's Patrick. Spring showers may bring May flowers, but they also bring big savings with Zero Res. And right now, you can beat the spring cleaning rush with big savings and priority booking by calling our heroes at Zero Res. Zero Res removes winter's buildup and lingering odors, giving your home a fresh, spring-ready feel, preparing your home for the brighter days ahead. Just check out the almost 21,000 raving customer service reviews online with a 4.9 Google rating and see what all the hype is about. This month, get 3 rooms Zero Resified from Minnesota's #1 carpet cleaner starting at just $119 and take $75 off an air duct cleaning as well. You owe it to yourself and your family to breathe healthy, happy, and clean. Call Zero Res right now at 9520-RES or go online to ZeroResMinnesota.com and say you want the AM 950 special. Spell it backward or forward, it's the same. Zero Res.
Turn to Auto Technical with your vehicle donation. Even though Auto Technical is a small nonprofit, we have helped more families with transportation than any organization in Minnesota. Since '94, we have reconditioned donated vehicles so they have a higher tax benefit. Call Richard at 612-919-5526, 612-919-5526, or autotech.org.
Real facts, real opinions, real talk. The Tech Mobility Show is Minnesota's program for news, information, and perspective at the intersection of mobility and technology. I'm Ken Chester, your host. I delve into the current mobility and technology trends and topics that impact you. Things are changing fast, and I cover these topics in a way that's easy to understand. By tuning into the Tech Mobility Show, you can stay informed about the latest happenings with self-driving vehicles, electric airplanes, and more. That's the Tech Mobility Show, heard every Saturday from 9 to 10 p.m. on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Clear tonight with a low of 33, then Wednesday sunshine with a high of 61. Nightingale is your cozy, comfortable neighborhood bar and restaurant at 26th and Lindale in Minneapolis. Come in for the famous Nightingale burger or the ginger tamari chicken wings. View their menu or place a takeout order at nightingalempls.com.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Hey, you got their new logo up. That's fantastic.
I like that one a lot.
Hopefully they'll give out t-shirts with that on, or at least a jacket or something.
I saw them get them ready.
Oh, really?
Well, they had them on for the little community baby shower on the little baby onesies.
Oh.
The logo was on them. It was so cute.
Interesting. Hey, it looks like we're not going to have Ruth on, but there's some great news I'd love to, excuse me a second here, talk about.
Oh, yeah. This was a press release that actually came out today. I was so excited when I saw it. Do you want me to read it, Tega, or do you want to go in?
I'll read a little bit because, I get worn out reading, and then you can jump in on the other part just to pay attention to where I leave off. Oh,
I
wow.
gotcha.
So, hey, as of today, April 15th, the funding allocation has brought increased resources to the Native community's unsheltered relatives in Minneapolis. The money comes from the Department of Human Service, DHS, Human Service Response. What is this? Contingency account designed to address emergent and immediate needs related to health, welfare, and safety in Minnesota. 5 Native organizations are receiving these funds to increase their rapid response and direct services programming for unhoused community members. And maybe you can go through who some of these organizations are.
Yeah, those 5 Native organizations that'll be receiving these funds to help out with this direct service will be Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, MIWRC, also Native American Community Clinic, NAC, and Indigenous Peoples Task Force, also American Indian Community Development Corporation, and the Indigenous Protector Movement, IPM.
Yeah, that's great. And I know, like, the Indigenous Protector Movement, for instance, as their boots on the ground, they're protecting the neighborhood. It's like the old days of AIM Patrol, and they do that really well. And I give a shout out to Dion and those young warriors that are out there. We have to get them on the show and talk about that, because that's really interesting what they're doing.
Yeah, IPM is doing some really great work. So there was a stat too in here. So although Indigenous people make up only 1% of the population in Hennepin County, studies report that they make up a disproportionate 16% of the homeless population. So these funds will definitely be going to good use that is very much needed in our community.
Yeah, and we know, just by having Ruth Anna on every week, we talk about them opening it up, and especially those cold nights, and,
Yeah.
I read somewhere, and I don't know if this is a fact, but I know that with these organizations like, Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center that have, people come in when it's really, really cold, is that there's not as many, visible, and I do use the word visible, people out on the streets as they have been in the past, so they're
Mhm.
doing something and they need support, and this is really good to see.
Yes. I also want to go back to April being Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Mm.
This is one of the great resources that MIWRC also has for our relatives. They're actually partnering up with SVC Sexual Violence Center
Hmm.
for Take Back the Night. And that is this Thursday, April 17th. It's going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. at Memorial Park in Shakopee, Minnesota.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that event is going to highlight some speakers, performances, community, and resources.
Wow, it's too bad that that's, Shakopee's kind of a ways for me, or I'd,
For me
make
too.
it out there. Yeah, even more for you. Hey, so I don't know, did you see Native American Community Development Institute posted this, but this is like a, um, poster, I think, made by a Metropolitan Urban Indian, Directors Group. There's this on, and it's talking about the kickoff and the parade theme, being on the first. We talked about strong like our ancestors, and then there's a picture, and the picture has, it looks like people working from, Minnesota, Indian Women's Resource Center with a trophy in their hand.
Oh, the Indian Month kickoff parade winner.
Yeah, where they won the float, and they're
Yeah.
in front of it looks like, a native design bus, which is not their float and not what they won on.
Oh,
But
I don't
that's
know what
cool,
poster
very
that.
cool
Yeah,
picture. And I see
cool.
Ruth Anna and some people in there too that look familiar.
Sweet. Well, I know MIWRC is also hosting their second Kids Night Out on April 30th. Put
Mm.
that in your calendar. They're going to be partnering with David Butler to learn about the history of lacrosse and making lacrosse sticks. And there's going to be a meal provided that's going to be April 30th for that second Kids Night Out from 5 to 8 p.m. at MIWRC in South Minneapolis.
Geez, I'd like to learn how to make a stick and
Cool, huh?
yeah,
Yeah,
those are cool.
get the
They're
kids into lacrosse again. I know, what is it, like Twin Cities Native Lacrosse has been
yeah,
huge over the years.
yeah, they have, and that's run by a Ho-Chunk, person here in who lives a few blocks away from me. Uh,
Hey, oh, wow. We'll have to get him on the
yeah.
show soon.
Hey, he gave me a pair of sweatpants, that say lacrosse on it, so, like, I'm down.
Swagged out. Hey, we
Yeah.
got Angie Vig up next.
Yeah.
Vig Guitars. Should we get her on?
Yeah, let's pop her on, let's surprise her because, I saw Angie this last weekend, and I said, "We gotta get you back on the show," and there she is with her Vig coffee cup, she's giving a wave with all the Vig guitars in the background. Good to see you, Angie.
Ah, bonjour.
Hey.
Heinepe?
Yeah, that's Heinepe's good morning, and so I feel a
Oh.
little out of sorts and took a nap, so that works for me. I wanna before we get too deep in it, I wanna remind everyone about Vig Guitars on, Snelling Avenue. I wanted to say University, Snelling Avenue, and give the address and the hours real quick.
Vig Guitars, we are at 595 Snelling Avenue North. We're like 4 blocks north of 94. Yeah, come on
Yeah,
by.
and definitely, and you have some added things on there, along with your guitars, but now that you're doing some beading at home and selling beading, and it's a great place to pick up some beading swag and some presents and some gifts.
Yeah, I got a case full of my jewelry here. And it's pretty funny because when someone, comes home or is going to go home with a new guitar, I tell them, you better bring her home something or you're
Yeah.
Nice.
don't be going home empty handed.
Good
I'll
one. Well, Vig Guitars is won, the silver, for Star Tribune's best, music and also the gold in 2020 2 in 2024. So they didn't do that. They didn't win that by just sitting around. You're thinking there, Angie.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're anticipating the results for this year. So we're so excited to find out who's going to get them this year. So that'll be announced in a couple months.
Oh, yeah. I
That's
voted for you guys.
oh,
Oh my gosh.
right on. Hey, so let's talk a little bit. It was funny. Haley and I were kind of joking about this, but I think you've been on a year ago this week, and we were talking about the weather changes and how people need tune-ups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Ted was on with me then, wasn't he? Yeah, he's gone now. He went to a pipe club meeting. It's so funny. I married a pipe carrier. That's what I call him. He's in tobacco pipes, So then he goes. There's clubs and stuff that he's part of, and like at home, I'm surrounded by hundreds of pipes and pounds of tobacco. So it's just funny. And then here I'm surrounded by trees. So this is really cool. It's just awesome. Speaking
Wow,
of
that's
trees,
very, very sacred.
living in Minnesota, we have these seasons, and right now we are going from the dry winter into humid time. And so when that happens, your guitar moves again, and then it starts buzzing, and I don't know. You'll notice the strings will be really close to the fretboard sometimes, and you'll notice maybe sometimes your hands will hurt from playing, and that's because your guitar is changing with the weather. These are organic, and people forget that they still think they're trees. So they move just like we do with the weather. They get dry and then they get moist, and this year we had like record number of crack repairs, and I thought we had it previous years. Now this was the biggest one yet. People kept forgetting to humidify their guitars, and we're just coming up where you won't have to humidify them anymore. I mean, it feels a little humid right now. You won't have to start humidifying them until you turn on your furnace. So that's a good thing to remember. When you're cold, you're cold. I'm talking about.
Amazing.
Yeah, and then what happens is, I'm going to show you. This is a beautiful Gibson hummingbird, but look what happened. I know.
Oh wow!
Describe it to the listeners that it's on the radio, but there's a big crack from the bridge all the way down to the bottom, and that's what happens because the wood shrinks when it's dry, and that's what happens, and that's so sad when that happens to the guitars. So we're going to repair that up.
Yeah, how do you repair that? And I just want to say this before you answer that question. We're talking to Angie Vig Guitars. It's indigenous owned. It's been serving the Twin Cities metro area since September of 2014 and continues to grow every year. And I just wanted to let everybody know about that too, now that you know the address.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we just celebrated 10 years in November. Our party was in November. But yeah, we still going strong. This was our busiest year for repairs since prior to 2020. So we're like, oh, thank goodness we're back to where we were prior, and just so no, we'll continue to climb again, because that was really hard to catch up from that. But yeah, these guitars are we have a big lineup right now of guitar repair because we're going in now. It's changing again. So check your guitars out. Open those cases and make sure they're okay.
Right on. Hey, well, hang with us for a little bit more. We gotta go for a quick break here and talk a little bit about the other repairs and the kind of guitars you have there, and give a shout out. So it's great to see you, Angie, and this is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back after this short break. Ho! Summer is fast approaching. How will your teens spend their days? Reconnecting Our Roots is a unique opportunity for Native American teenagers from the Twin Cities area. Students will engage in cultural activities and learn about Native histories rooted through Minnesota Makoche in a welcoming environment. The summer session runs July 14th through the 18th at the Minnesota History Center, and a stipend is available for those who attend each day. Learn more and apply now at mnhs.org/NAI.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP, along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a to-go card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. 612-373-3333.
I love my Toyotas from Rudy Luther Toyota for one simple reason. I can depend on them. You know they keep you safe, and they're incredibly reliable, fuel-efficient, comfortable, and stylish. The Consumer Reports Best of 2025 edition has 10 Toyotas as best buys in affordability. Toyotas are some of Consumer Reports' highest-rated certified pre-owned vehicles, and Rudy Luther Toyota's service department is the one place I take my Sienna for all of its maintenance needs. Toyotas are fantastic vehicles because they're fantastic vehicles. See for yourself at Rudy Luther Toyota off of 394 in Golden Valley.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
In this portion of the show, we like to bring awareness to our Minnesota wolf population. Say no to the hunts.
Right on, Angie. Hey, we're here with Angie Big. Yes. we say no and we speak wolf now. We go, ooh.
Yeah.
Right on. Hey, we're here with Angie Vig Guitars. And again, if you want to get some more information, guitarshop.com, 595 Snelling Avenue, and you're open Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and then Fridays, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And it sounds like you guys got to get out to your gigs early, so you're not as open there on as late Friday. And you do a lot of work there and have a lot of guitars. Maybe we can talk a little bit about your staff.
Sure. Oh, we're also open Saturdays, 11 to 3. I just want to note that.
Oh,
it's like
hey, I didn't scroll down. I didn't scroll down. Sorry. Jeez, 11 to 3 on Saturday.
Okay. Man, we got a great staff here. I have a bunch of luthiers, and luthiers are they fix and build fretted instruments. And they all went to the school down in Red Wing at Southeast Tech. Red Wing, they have a program. It's the guitar building program, and they are one of 3, I think now 4, but in the whole country that offers that program in Red Wing. Isn't that great? So they're all certified from that program. Ted went there in the 80s or late 90s. I can't remember what year he went, the years, but and we're going to be bringing on some new graduates from that program here also.
That's awesome. So you've been there, Haley. Do you have any questions? I know there's a wall of guitars, but you're also fixing guitars. So you have guitars there from beginner to expert?
Sure, yeah. Every day something new comes in, and we do a lot of consigning, so we sell for people. A lot of people don't like Marketplace and Craigslist anymore, so so it's a good place to sell your guitars is here. And so we have a great range of guitars, prices, and then varieties and sizes. And yeah, it's just a great, we're a repair shop with retail, and we have just a lot of great stuff, and we've been actually unfortunately taking in some estates from musicians that have passed on, but their relatives bring us their instruments, their collections, because they say they need to be played. They need to keep going on, and so we're just happy they entrust us with that.
Right on. And Haley, before you jump in, I just want to ask, what is the parking situation, Angie?
We have parking right in front, and then we also have a parking lot right on the side of the building. You just have to go around the building to get there, but there's plenty of parking all the time.
Yeah, that's very important, especially that area.
Yeah. Oh, and back to the employees, we also have, our sales associates. We're all professional musicians here, so we're no dummies here, and everybody's really knowledgeable. Bunch of gear nerds. That's what they are.
Nice. That's awesome. You want to go and hang out in a place like that, and I think next door you can get a tattoo with a guitar on it too.
Yeah, a great Fluid Ink Tattoos is next door, and then there's a barbershop, Raise Our Cuts next door, so you can get your hair cut, you can go get a tattoo, and then go home with a guitar or bass.
and some jewelry.
Yeah, and some, of course. Wow, let me tell you, I saw you at the Champlain powwow on Sunday. That was my first time vending at a powwow. I chose that one because I thought it'd be small. Oh my God. It was small, I guess, smaller, but there were so many people. I was exhausted. I think I got home, I could barely move. I'll never do that again. Alone by myself. Holy smoke. Well, big respect to everybody who does all the powwows, because that was really crazy.
Yeah, it's hard on your body. We do the store at the fair and at Dayton's, and then we do Shakopee, and that's enough for me.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm old. I can't lift my arm up and give change because I did it so many times. I got carpal rotator cuff.
Well, I saw you and Rita at the Quito Festival. You were tabling there.
Oh, at the tattoo festival. Wasn't that great? And you got a really nice tattoo.
Yeah, Joyce did mine.
She did too. Yeah, that was I'm so glad that worked out for Willard. Him and his team, really, it just was so smooth. Everything ran so smooth, and yeah, he's great. I'm so glad it went so well, because they're gonna do it again, I'm sure, again and again.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Even though shortly after it was over, when you're really tired and you don't know if you're going to do it again, he said he's going to do it again. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, they made like a big day out of it. With like a proclamation and everything.
Yeah, the mayor, St. Paul mayor, was down there giving out proclamations. I went down there and I saw you too. That was amazing. And yeah, it was kind of overwhelming. There was so much good stuff there.
Oh my gosh.
They were doing yoga and some of the rooms, and there was a lot happening there.
Yeah, their classes and stuff. What else have you been up to, Angie?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Just we've been working. Our new band is really fun. We have a lot of great musicians in our band. We're called the Dirty Half Dozen. And I know we're looking forward to playing out more. I don't know. I'm looking forward to. Did you see the? I was thinking. I don't know. I was going to send a tape in and a shot to. They're going to do that new series or a new pilot series about a Native community center. Did you guys hear about that?
Oh, is that with Bobby Wilson?
Probably NBC picked it up, and so they're calling for interviews, and one of them is like a 50-year-old woman, and I'm not 50 yet, but I could play one.
I mentioned that.
Yeah.
It's like
Definitely.
it's kind of fun to try out for that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Everybody
we're
should.
really-
Everybody should.
Exactly. Well, we're really into North of North. I don't know if you watch that on Netflix, but that's very funny and very
Is
awesome.
it? It's in my queue.
Yeah, check it out. You'll want to binge on it. It's like 28 minutes episode, and there's 8 episodes.
That's awesome. I've been rewatching Rutherford Falls.
Oh, Rutherford Falls, yeah.
So funny. Just,
Yeah.
that
The lieutenant governor thought it was about her because her husband, worked for NPR all those years. So it was always funny that she would say that.
What platform is that on right now?
Peacock. I think it's on
Yeah.
Peacock. That's what I'm watching it on. Oh, just cracks me
We
up.
had the whole crew on, interviewed them after the first year. It was awesome. Felt really blessed. There was a lot of great talent and people, and the guy that plays the head of the casino. I didn't realize this until I interviewed him, but he was in Smoke Signals, and he was in that kind of iconic scene in the beginning where they're playing basketball, and he was one of the kids playing basketball in the gym.
Yeah. He's been in so much stuff. God, he was funny too. Oh, just
Well, Angie, thanks for stopping in. Really great to see you in community and here on the radio. Again, Vig Guitars on 595 Snelling Avenue in St. Paul, and open a lot. And don't forget Saturdays. Saturdays are big days, and plenty of parking. Again, big peeny gigi, Angie.
and coffee. Big Witch. See you.
All right. Hey, right on. Hey, if you're listening to the show, you're part of the resistance. We're still here. We are the 7th generation.
Signing up for